Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to be doing another prisoner run, this time with an electric build. So these mind crystals will work universally between any character. The only thing I'm running for prisoners specifically is, for every debuff an enemy is inflicted with, the enemy takes more damage. We're going to be taking a debuff in the build, and then he also just has a lot of debuffs in his base kit, so we'll be able to stack that high enough that I think it's worth taking. And then for today, we're going to be taking a couple of starting buffs because I'm going to show off a little bit of the strategy of... A lot of people ask how I get max potential characters. Part of how you do that is you really want to start with speedrun reward and no damage reward. I'm also going to be starting with fast skill MP recovery because it's something that's just generally good to have. Another thing you would want to run in your mind crystals if you're going for max potential runs is you want to take solo performance. If you get hit by a boss fight, you can actually pause the game and go back to the main menu to restart the boss fight. So even if you're not capable of consistently perfecting bosses, you can cheese that if you want to. I'm not gonna bother with this one today. I don't really care about getting a full potential prisoner in this run, but I wanted to talk about a little bit of the strategy behind it. And then also you would want to run on 80 Transcendence is ideal, but Transcendence is much more difficult than regular 80. So if you can run at regular 80 or even just 75, the main thing that you want is the 2 extra shop refreshes, and then along with that you also get more exchange points as well. Shops are going to be the biggest form of getting potentials in the run, especially if you're hitting specific Covenant effect that you need. So the Covenant effect you need is the one that lets you reroll shops twice for free. Oh yeah, and then for Mind Crystals, the one that gives you a 90% discount is also very important for just... You want to be able to make the shops as efficient as possible, because on Transcendence, you can reroll the shops 5 times, and then on non-Transcendence, you can reroll it 3 times if you're at 75 entropy. No other space is going to have the ability to give you 3 to 5 potentials in one single space. So you really need to maximize out on shops if you're trying to maximize the characters. So for Legacy Tactics this time, and I guess tactics in general, I'm going to be going with a full electric build. I've done some variations of this build in the past. I think the last time I ran it with Hazama and did some shenanigans with Shadow Lightning Orbs. So the theory behind this is that you take Skill Lightning with the red effect Lightning Orb. When an enemy is inflicted with lightning, a lightning orb is generated that tracks the enemy, dealing damage. And then the cool thing about this is that this will benefit from any red effect that you put on your summon lightning orbs. So in this case, they're going to be spawning thunderbolts, but you can also be doing things like Lightning Orb Shot, where they'll just deal more damage, Shadow Lightning Orb, where more are generated, and then the other one is you can have them do Chain Lightnings. Any of these options are good. They're kind of good in their own ways, too. So you can experiment around with which one of them is your favorite. And then one nice thing about running this build on Prisoner specifically is that his up plus attack arrows actually count as a skill, so I don't need constant MP to be able to apply the impulses to things. For this build, I also want to make sure I look out for durable lightning orbs. That way, the orbs that are getting created by the skill impulses last longer. And then also, the crossbow turret is going to be really nice for just automatically applying the lightning impulses as well. I feel like they may have finally buffed these a little bit. I don't know, they're still pretty slow. Sometimes it seems like they're moving faster than I remember them moving before, and then other times it still looks like they're moving slow. So I don't know. One of the problems with this build used to be that they would move so insanely slow that they could never really catch up to enemies. Now it seems like it kind of varies. Sometimes I see them moving faster and slower. And then another problem with this build is that if you're killing enemies too quickly, which is going to end up happening a lot by the end of the run especially, there's a delay between when the impulse is applied and when the lightning orb actually gets spawned. So if an enemy dies in that time period, you just don't get the orbs a lot of times. I really wish that's something they would change, and then just cap the amount of orbs on screen if it becomes blatantly overpowered, which it probably would become very overpowered in normal enemy rooms. If there was just suddenly not the one thing holding it back that holds it back. I wonder if they plan on nerfing Ragna's legacy as well. I talked about this in my last Prisoner video, but if you didn't see it, Prisoner's passive is actually activating... hang on, let me start over. So Blood Cane drains your HP in order to give you a healing effect on your normal attacks, and then what Prisoner's passive does is give you a chance to restore some HP if you hit enemies shortly after taking damage. The problem is that the damage that you're taking from Ragna's Second Legacy skill is being converted into that healing from Prisoner's passive. So not only are you getting healing back from the lifesteal effect, but you're also getting healing back from Prisoner's passive at the same time. And Ragna's Second Legacy skill was already what I consider to be game-breakingly broken, and now Prisoner just made it even better. Which, balance doesn't really exist in this game anyways, to begin with, but I think there are some things that are a little too egregious. Anyways, another thing, if you didn't watch my previous Prisoner video, if you don't pick up this specific upgrade for the backpacks, you will not see stuff like mutations, universal enhancements, and you will not see the other two backpacks. So if you're going for, like, other backpack builds, you need to really look out for that one. There's a couple of good things we can do with each backpack, so I kind of want to see Backpack 3 before Backpack 2, but I might as well pick it up now. Said we were going a full lightning build, but I might pivot the build just a little bit into taking legacy light spears, now that I think about it more. There's something that it'll give this build a lot more sauce, trust me. But if you did just want to run the lightning tactic chance and just run it as full lightning, you very well could. Actually forgot I had weapon backpack too. I want to show off all 3 backpacks a lot more in this run, which is part of the reason why I'm doing another run, even though I said I'm not going to be playing the game as much anymore. But I wanted to show off this build, even though it's kind of something I've shown off before, and then also show off the other 2 backpacks more, since the first run focused mainly on the first backpack. I'll have to check something real quick, too. I believe that... Okay, yes. The up plus skill of Backpack 2 inflicts lightning on enemies, so it's going to be proccing the red effect that we have for skill Lightning Impulse. You can also do the same thing with the up plus attack of Backpack 3. I really don't care about any of these. This might be pretty decent. It might be able to save me from Susano. He might still just one-shot me through it anyways, though. A lot of attacks are multi-hit, so especially when it comes to Reki. So that one isn't always going to save you, but in general it will be pretty nice with Prisoner's passive. So now we can pick up Seeker Thunderbolts, where Thunderbolts seek enemies inflicted with lightning and deal 40% more damage. So this is just going to make all the Thunderbolts that all of our orbs are spawning deal additional damage. I don't know how the seeking will really work when there's so many enemies marked at once, but at the very least it will make it do more damage, and that's the part that I really care about the most. And now the build is really going to take off once I pick up Pulsing Lightning. When Impulse hits an enemy, it inflicts impulses on the next enemy, basically. This lets impulses really go crazy and just do chain reactions between entire enemy groups. This room is complete hell. We have Afterlife Bombs, we have a room with infinitely spawning enemies that is very small, and then on top of that, we have butterflies. Luckily, Triple Dash kind of invalidates a lot of things, and then I can let the tactics just clear for me. Ragna's, or not Ragna's, but Jin's Legacy passive helps out a lot with that too. So now the next thing that we're going to pick up is that when a lightning chain when a lightning chain links to an enemy inflicted with lightning, it triggers an impulse. That's just going to help with a little bit of boss DPS. It's not really that important for this build, but it's easy to pick up along the way. That build that red tactic has really good synergy if you want to run this build with Lightning Orb Thunder instead, where they do Chain Lightning. I tried that one out, and it feels really good to play with. I think this one might be slightly better, just for the fact that it has better boss DPS, but the Chain Lightning one is definitely good on its own, too. So part of the reason why I really want to start with fast kill MP recovery on Prisoner is that if you're using Backpack 2 and you have the floating sword summon, it cancels out your MP gain. I think it even drains MP before you get a certain potential for it. But once you get the right potentials for it, it just stops. It stops giving you MP regen, which is not too big of an issue if you have this fast kill MP recovery from buffs. The sword is also applying impulses constantly for us as well, so it's a good thing to have in with this build. Ooh, I really like these attacks, especially if I can get them transferred over to Backpack 3. We still haven't seen Backpack 3, though. Movement on this cloud feels a little bit awkward sometimes, but I think I'm starting to get the hang of it a bit more. It's especially weird, like, you could see back there that I did a wall cling while I was on the cloud, which is really strange to me. I don't feel like they should be able to do that, but maybe that's how he was in the original game, I don't know. Anyways, I think this is the last red tactic we're picking up. It's conductive electric pillars. When 2 or more electric pillars are activated, it just creates additional lightning orbs for you, basically. So now, one thing I should do oh no, I can't leave this menu or oh well, it should be fine. Just one thing I need to make sure I do before I walk into the boss room is deactivate the sword from Backpack 2. You do that by holding the button, or holding the skill button, I mean. That way your MP starts regenning again, and you can get it back before a boss fight if you need to. You can even just, like, chill out and not activate the boss, as long as I guess you have enough time on your time limit if you're running that entropy. Let's see how much this heals with Ragna. I mean, I guess I can't really see how much it's healing from Ragna if I already am at close to max HP anyways, but look at the damage it's doing. Just this, the crossbow, and the tactics. That's actually really good damage for Transcendence difficulty, especially. So the next thing I would ideally want is some of the buffs from Brutality or Tactics. Frenzy and Adrenaline from... honestly, all 3 from Brutality are good, but the second and third ones are really OP for healing. And then in Tactics, Barbed Tips is just insanely broken. I wouldn't be surprised if that was something that maybe got nerfed at some point. But they are very prone to not nerfing characters in this game, and when they do, the nerfs are not very significant. Wow, we actually got it, but I don't think this will actually damage me that bad. It will nerf the crossbows when I'm on the ground quite a bit, but if I'm doing the lightning clouds, I'll be in the air. It will nerf the sword when I'm on the ground as well. I don't think it'll be a big deal, though. This is what you really want to see if you're trying to make a max potential character. So in a lot of ways, you can do all of the setup properly and just not get a max potential character. A lot of things come down to luck in what types of spaces show up, and then how good your shop luck is, and then also how much you're optimizing perfect clearing spaces and bosses to get the extra exchange points. Some characters are much easier to get max potentials on than others as well. Characters like Rachel and Hibiki are much higher than the rest of the cast, and then I don't remember quite how the order falls from there. Mai and S and Noel are on the lower end. I believe Mai should be the complete bottom tier for just potential counts. So if you're trying to just do it for the achievement, then Mai is your best bet. But S and Noel will also be fairly easy to max potential, even if you're not getting the right covenant. I'm still missing a really vital universal enhancement, so I can't quite do as much sauce with the backpacks as I want to, but hopefully we'll get that soon. Wait, my crossbow turret is getting the shield that the enemies are supposed to have. That's kind of funny. I wonder if it will drop a or it will drop a, oh, what's it called? I wonder if that means it would drop an afterlife bomb. See, like, there, for example, was one of the times where the lightning orbs just went really quickly off-screen and killed stuff automatically for me. But then other times I feel like they're just moving really slowly. So I don't know. Maybe their tracking is a little bit inconsistent or something. It definitely seems better than before, but it's still, I don't know, it just seems inconsistent to me. I probably shouldn't have went into that shop there, but it's not a huge deal since I have the free refreshes. I was able to just use that shop to get 2 extra potentials. The problem is that even with, like, all the setup in the world, you don't really have enough money to spend on more than one shop per area, and you have a guaranteed shop at the end, so you usually want to go for that one. Now, if you do get, like, really, really lucky, and get either... I maybe should have went into the trial this run. I did go into the trial, I just didn't see what I would have taken. There's a trial effect that, like, gives a certain percentage of your exchange points once it ends. So that, using that one, you can get a lot of exchange points, and then there's also a black market that will give you extra exchange points anytime you perfect clear. Those two will help maybe be able to get more than one exchange spot per room. And also if you're doing non-Transcendence as well, you might hit the point of where you have enough money for it, but in Transcendence there's really just not enough money for how many refreshes you get. I haven't even been using my electric pillar red effect. It's really easy to forget about, honestly. It's not really that important, it's just something that's easy to throw in. The other option that I guess I mentioned before that I might do is you can throw light spears in that slot, and then you'll get a red effect where anytime a thunderbolt hits something, it spawns a light spear. So you'll be spawning tons of light spears through all of the interactions with how many lightning orbs you're creating. MP would be nice to get here, but I'm going to use the extra refreshes to look for extra potentials instead. So I talked about this in the last Prisoner video as well, but for the people that didn't see it, there's 2 universal enhancements that basically carry over any enhancements you have from Backpack 1 to 2 and 3. You only need the potential to unlock Backpack 2 and 3. They don't have their own separate potential list. You just have Backpack 1 with its upgrades, and then these 2 upgrades here transfer the upgrades from 1 over to 2 and 3 at the same time. Which can be annoying sometimes if you're just not seeing that universal enhancement until the end of the run. I think those 2 universal enhancements could almost just be removed and have that be a base mechanic. That way also, your backpacks are always consistent with each other. Like if you have the up plus attack inputs for your basic backpack, or your backpack 1, you would have it for the other 2 as well. He's already pretty smooth to play input-wise, but just removing that would make him a lot smoother, because then, like I said, you would always have the same inputs no matter what backpack you're on. So now that we have the ability to do like charged attacks and stuff with Backpack 3, we can do some shenanigans. In particular, the basic hold attack, I shot it the wrong way there. It's probably easier to show on a different boss, but when you're doing this move, you will automatically block any hits that attack you from the front. And then also, you will counter. So basically, you're just fully invincible while you're doing a bunch of hits. As long as you don't mess up and get hit from behind like I did. Another way that you can be very safe, if you want to, is once you unlock the ability to dash while holding up the shield, you can chain this consecutively for a lot of invincibility frames back to back. There is still a little bit of a dead zone where you can get hit, but you get a lot of iframes off of it. I think Prisoner is somewhere around 4th place when it comes to how many potentials each character has, if I remember correctly. If you look on the Discord on the general channel, there's a pinned message that has the amount of each character. Maybe I'll put it down in a comment too if I remember. So we can go for more damage, we can go for HP stacking, or we can go for exchange points. This will help out a lot, actually. Especially when it comes to the Omega Sector. I really do not want to full clear the Omega Sector. I'll do full clears when I'm doing when I'm like actually setting up characters for max potentials, but I don't really like full clearing it otherwise, unless I have to. Oh, come on. I like the fact that you can use the You can use the backpack switching as an attack of its own. Even like, for example, I was already in Backpack 1. I was able to reactivate Backpack 1 to use it as a combo tool. I really like that about him. I guess it helps out a lot too if you're comboing enemies, like normal enemies that can be hit stunned. It lets you switch backpacks easier without dropping combos. Though unfortunately, regular enemies tend to die too quickly for them to really be comboed for long. Ooh, that escape death will come in handy if I decide to fight Reki, and maybe even for Susanoo as well. I'm trying to think. It's gonna seem weird, but I am actually just going to skip this. Am I? I can refresh a couple times for free. So the chances of me seeing potentials from here are probably still a lot better than seeing them from Advanced Battle. If I was planning on full clearing the Omega Sector, then I would definitely take this. But since I'm not, that's why I'm questioning if I wanted to take it or not. Money will go by very quickly in the Omega Sector. Oh look, it's Barb Tips. We've officially won the run, basically. Now I can probably fight Reki, and I will just cheese her phase 2. Okay, now I don't wanna refresh the shop any further at this point, because it'll start taking money for refreshes. For this shop, I just wanted to do the free ones to see if I could get an extra potential or two. Can I switch backpacks? You can switch backpacks while still on the cloud. Interesting. I haven't been upkeeping the backpack switching as much as I would want to, but that's just something that's going to be difficult to do on commentary. We're getting really good luck with potential spaces this run. This run might actually be capable of doing max potentials, even without the extra Mind Crystal that I could have taken. I think I'm gonna take the max MP room. The Sortisho theoretically gives me more upgrades, but this gives me money, which will probably come in more use than whatever the Sortisho gives me. I really love the fan attacks from Backpack 3. Backpack 3 would maybe be my favorite if it wasn't for the skill on there. I really don't like the fact that it's so slow, it's vulnerable, and then on top of that, it eats your entire MP cost up front. If it was like Taukaka's, where you could start and stop it and it would drain MP over time, I would probably like it a lot better. Like, look at that, for example. If you ever, like, need to avoid an attack, you can just start holding the charged attack way in advance. You'll automatically block as long as they don't hit you from behind, and then also you'll counter as soon as you hit. That's unfortunate. I wanted to get Barb tips stacked a bit during that stun, but oh wait, I just hit her health threshold anyways. Okay, well that's fine. We can skip her laser phase then. But yeah, the combination of just me flubbing the backpack switching and the knockups made it harder to get Barb tips stacked. I honestly don't even think I know what the down attack of Skill Backpack 2 does, because I hardly ever unlock the down plus skills, just in general. I know Cocoon is really good if you can time it, because it fully refunds NP if it works, so theoretically you can just block everything. And then I guess Skill Backpack 2's is Wolf Traps. I don't think I've ever used them since I played the character. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do like the fast route of seeing as many exchange points or exchange spaces as I can, as well as picking up all the bonus potentials possible, but we're not going to do any of the side routes, like the HP or MP spaces. So what I'm going to do is only... Hang on a second. I'm only going to use the refreshes again when they're the free ones, because I'm not going to have enough money to both spend on all 3 shops and then also use the extra refresh money, so it's way more efficient to spend these free refreshes. That's why these free refreshes are so good. Even if you don't have the money to use all of them, it's so much more cost efficient than using the normal refreshes. I do not like the looks of that. So here, what I would normally do is I'd go into this boss, and then that would open up either like an event space or another exchange space. But I'm honestly might be more scared of this boss than Transcendent Reki. As weird as that sounds, I know I can cheese Reki a lot easier than I can cheese this boss, which I can probably cheese that boss too, but oh well. Alright, I guess it's time to lock in a little bit then. Oh, that reflects projectiles! Somehow, I have not seen that too often. That makes perfect sense, though. I want to make sure I get Barb tips fully stacked before we go into Phase 2. This is way too calm of music to be fighting super bosses with. Oh well. Oh, there goes our escape death. Ah, she was at 1 HP! All I needed to do was hit her once. Oh well. That was definitely doable, it's just, that fight, the second phase of that fight, especially on Transcendence, is such a mess. Especially once you have tactics going on, it becomes so hard to tell what's going on, at least for me. And it's not like I could have probably cheesed it even harder. I was cheesing the hell out of that fight, and I still fucked up because I stopped cheesing, I guess. Oh well, that was a good run either way. That's just kind of how Transcendence Recce goes. You either destroy her, or she destroys you. It's a very volatile boss fight. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.